Hey guys, it's my birthday, but as you know, it is Sunday, which means I will start reading the 39 clues. But I'm going to do what I always do before I read the book, which is reading the back. That way you'll know if it's a good book or a bad one. $1 million, or clue. What would happen if you discovered that your family was one of the most powerful in human history? What if you were told that the source of the family's power was hidden around the world in the form of 39 clues? What if you were given a choice? Take $1 million and walk away, or get the first clue? If you're Amy and Dan Cahill, then you take the clue and begin a very dangerous race. Now that was the back. I'm actually going to read it now. 5 minutes before she died, Grace Cahill changed her will. Her lawyer brought out the alternative version, which had been her most guarded secret for 7 years. Whether or not she would actually be crazy enough to use it, William McIntyre had never been certain. "Madame," he asked, "are you sure?" Grace gazed out the window across the sunlit meadows of her estate. Her cat Aladdin snuggled beside her, as he had throughout her illness, but his presence was not enough to confront her today. She was about to set in motion events that might cause the end of civilization. "Yes, William." Her breath was very painful, I'm sure. William broke the seal on the brown leather folder. He was a tall, craggy man. His nose was pointed like a sundial, so it always cast a shadow over one side of his face. He had been Grace's advisor, her closest confidant, for half her life. They'd shared many secrets over the years, but none as perilous as this. He held the document for her to review. A fit of coughing racked her body. Aladdin meowed with concern. Once the coughing passed, William helped her take the pen. She scrawled her weak signature across the paper. "They're so young," William lamented. They're so young, William lamented. "If only their parents." "But their parents didn't," Grace said bitterly. "And now the children must be old enough. They are our only chance. But if they don't succeed, then 500 years of work have been for nothing," Grace said. "Everything collapses. The family, the world, all of it." Grace nodded grimly. He took the folder from her hands. Grace sat back, stroking Aladdin's silver fur. The scene outside the window made her sad. It was too gorgeous a day to die. She wanted to have one last picnic with the children. She wanted to be young and strong and travel the world again. But her eyesight was failing. Her lungs labored. She clutched her jade necklace, a good-luck talisman she found in China years ago. It had seen her through many close calls with death, many lucky misses. But the talisman couldn't help her anymore. She worked hard to prepare for this day. Still, there was so much she'd left undone, so much she had never told the children. "It will have to be enough," she whispered. And with that, Grace Cahill closed her eyes for the last time. When he was sure Grace had passed away, William McIntyre went to the window and closed the curtains. William preferred darkness. It seemed more proper for the business at hand. The door opened behind him. Grace's cat hissed and disappeared under the bed. William didn't look back. He was staring at Grace Cahill's signature on her new will, which had just become the most important document in the Cahill family's history. "Well?" a brusque voice said. William turned. A man stood in the doorway, his face obscured by shadows, his suit as black as oil. "It's time," William said. "Make sure they suspect nothing." William couldn't tell for sure, but he thought the man in black smiled. Don't worry, the man promised. They'll never have a clue. Well, that was the first chapter for The Maze of Bones. Come back to... Sorry for the crying, that was my nephew Owen. Anyways, come back tomorrow and I will be reading chapter 2, or... Well, I haven't checked how many pages chapter 2 has, so it'll... But from what I read last time, which was a few months ago, when I read it a few months ago, it seemed like it had a lot of pages, and right now I'm trying to find front and back of it. Yeah, it looks like that I'm going to have to... I might cut chapter 2 into 2 parts, but tomorrow I will be reading some or all of chapter 2. It just depends on how long the video is.